My 30M GF 32F of 6 months has changed her behavior recently and I want to leave. So I met her earlier this year. We were fast friends within a month of meeting and dating after a month, official for 6 months or so. Met her on a night out with some friends. We live separately but she spends a lot of time at my house as it's nearer to where she works. Our relationship started really nicely. I felt like we just got on really well and she was very supportive of me as well. But recently she's been quite pushy about me making changes to my lifestyle and seems angry and disappointed with the results. The two big ones are my work and what I wear. As for my work, I work at the same store I've worked at since I was 16. It's just an easy job, pays my bills and I know how to do everything there. I'm basically a manager without the responsibility of actually being a manager as I don't want that level of responsibility for no extra pay. I also make money via stocks and cryptocurrency so I don't struggle for money. As for what I like to wear, I have many jumpers and t-shirts of an emo band my friends and I loved when we were young. I genuinely have like 50 or so that I wear a lot because it makes me happy, and doesn't hurt anyone either. I admit I have a bit of a problem with anxiety. Familiarity helps me with it. Some family thinks I might have OCD but I've never been diagnosed. My girlfriend a few weeks ago expressed frustration with my clothes, saying I need to grow up and get new ones. She spends a lot of money to get whatever clothes are in fashion. I don't have a problem with that as it's her money to spend and she isn't hurting anyone. But I don't know why she has a problem with my clothes. The argument was big but resolved and we went shopping and bought me some new clothes. They are actually quite nice and I like wearing them too. A few days later I was wearing a band t-shirt again because the new clothes were in the wash and she was really angry about it. I explained the new clothes were in the wash and it wasn't decided that I'd completely stop wearing the band stuff. She wouldn't talk to me for the rest of the day. The next day she had cooled off and explained that she thinks new clothes will help me grow as a person. We talked a long time and I eventually agreed to get rid of the band clothes. While I was packing them up I started crying and she called me stupid and I asked her to leave. She came back a few hours later and we made up. I packed the boxes into my car and told her I was gonna donate them. She was really pleased and said I was making the right choice getting rid of them. I didn't donate them. I took them to work and I'm keeping them there until further notice. My boss was confused but understanding. I got back home and she'd ordered my lots of new clothes. She told me she understands it was upsetting but I'd be better off for it. That night a few hours later she wanted to talk about my work and why I'm not a manager. I explained to her that I don't want to be. She's been distant and only talks about how I should ask to be a manager. I've explained why I don't want to be, and that I wouldn't even be paid more, nor is there a need for it at the store. She just keeps saying that I need to fight for a pay rise as well so I can treat us to nice things. I told her that isn't how it works and that I make money in other ways and that she has her own money too so it shouldn't matter. She shouted at me that I'm useless and stormed out. My boss also told me she called the store and asked him why I'm not a manager. After being upset and feeling useless for a few hours I decided that I don't want to be with her. I realized I don't see my friends as much as I used to because she likes to spend all our free time just us. I just don't feel happy with her anymore and feel like she actually acted differently when we started out just to get close to me. She even said she loved all the band stuff when I first showed her. I think she may be right that new clothes might help me a bit. I genuinely appreciate that and like how I look in some of the clothes we bought. But I also liked how I looked in the band stuff, and still think it wasn't over the top. I'd normally just wear jeans and a t-shirt or jumper anyway. I don't think it's as ridiculous as she said it was. I just thought of it as a wearable collection. People collect weirder things. As well as this, I really don't like that I lied to her about donating the band stuff. It felt horrible and dishonest. My boss and colleagues could tell something was off when I took the boxes into work. I try to be honest as I don't want to upset people. Too long did not read. My girlfriend of 6 months has become controlling and angry at me and made me get rid of some clothes that are special to me, is also trying to get me to become a manager at my work, even called my boss to ask about it. I've decided I want to leave her but I'm scared to because she can be manipulative and angry. Anyway, I want to break up with her but I know it's gonna be difficult. She's good at talking me into stuff but my mind is made up 100% on this. I'm still not sure when or how to do it though. I'm feeling really anxious about it. Wondering if you guys can give me some advice or help. How can I be assertive about wanting to break up and not have her talk me out of it? I'm so glad you didn't throw out those band tees. 6 months. Yeah, you ought to be done. Your lifestyle and your habits will make you. Basically not the right guy for a number of women in their early 30s. But that doesn't give her the right to try to transform you into something else that she can sell to her friends and parents. You're not a project that needs fixing. You're a person with opinions and choices. Either she takes you for who you are, or she can find someone else. You neither need nor want to change. She's trying to change who you are, do not let her. I would walk away if I were you. She sounds insane. Dude, never ever change for a girl. Be yourself, and if she doesn't like it she can move on. Predators, abusers are only able to pretend to be good people for about 6 months. What you are seeing now is the way that it's going to be forever. Everything up until the change in her behavior was an act. Don't waste 3 years of your life on a person like this the way I did. Just tell her you're getting the band back together and going on the road. Keep it short, let her talk, then ghost her. You don't owe her anything more than that. You are doing her a favor as well so she can find the man she's trying to mold you into becoming. My boss also told me she called the store and asked him why I'm not a manager. That right there is a boundary that should never, ever be crossed. You've made the right decision to break up with her. No easy way to do it. Just do it. She sounds horribly mean and I would leave too. Personally I am almost 30 but I don't think that a boyfriend of mine should grow up. I encourage anime and band tees and video games and all that because I like that, and if my partner likes that too then awesome. I would go out of my way to buy them things they like, not try to change them. Person facepalming light skin tone. She has some growing up she needs to do clearly and has no room to tell you to grow up. Dump her. 100%. There is a difference between encouraging someone to achieve what they want to in life and helping them grow, and trying to crush their identity out of them. You are a person, not a project. She is controlling and punishes you with the silent treatment when you don't do as she says. Get out before it gets worse. Also, from someone with several tattoos relating to emo and emo-adjacent bands, which one? She doesn't know how to communicate properly. Bro, she scolded you for what you wore. You are a man, an anxious man, with crippling OCD, but a man. I tip my fedora to you, good sir. I think ending it is the right move. I'm all for encouraging partners and friends to dress better in a nice way, and motivating them to work towards career goals. But, she went away encouraging to being controlling. The fact she called your boss and talked to him crossed the line. Also, her comments were pretty horrible and condescending. There are girls out there who will embrace your band tees. This one won't, so it's time to put her to the curb. Just steadfastly repeat the word no, and this isn't working out. If someone I was dating wanted me to stop wearing my fave emo band t-shirt, I wouldn't be dating him anymore. She wants what's best for her and for her image, not what's best for you. Hey op, at the very least you deserve someone who is kind to you when you cry. That is basic stuff. All I can say is that real relationships show you at your very worst: dreadful colds, food poisoning, super stress, pandemic lockdowns, deaths, etc. Eventually, so if someone is poking holes in this kind of silly stuff, that you clearly love, this may not end well. The only advice I'd give is, would you treat a girlfriend this way? If the answer is no, you have your answer IMO. Stay well op, keep the nice clothes and the band t-shirts. Her behavior is extremely controlling and abusive. Calling you stupid after forcing you to stop using something you like. I'd change my locks, dump her via text and block her on everything. If you're scared about her reaction, is not immature to break up via text, it's about self-preservation. I think you're making the right decision. Also, I have to ask because I'm an old emo kid too, what's the band? Yay, 6 months in and she wants you to get rid of all of your clothes you've had for years. I'm 29 and Sue wish I had my old clothes and other things from the early so much so that I go to thrift stores to try to find them lol. Keep the shirts loose the GF. This made me so sad for you, sad face. My husband likes to wear a lot of metal band t-shirts and I love fashionable clothes like your GF. I too showed him different styles and he branched out, but I would never tell him to get rid of his band shirts. You really need to cut contact with her and let those close to you know what's going on in case she does something. You deserve so much more. I really hope it all works out for you. While you're in the right here, do be aware you'll never escape this entirely. If you want to be with women, women want you to grow and change. Not even necessarily for the better, but at least trying to improve, or whatever they think qualifies. I firmly believe that 6 months to a year into a relationship is where you start seeing who people really are. And that what they show doesn't tend to get better the more comfortable they get. Please Please stay strong and break up with her. I could go on and on with detailed explanations of why her behavior and attitude are horrendous, but I think you already feel that in your gut, that she's going to make you absolutely miserable and that she'll never stop trying to mold you into her vision. If you start to feel convinced by her manipulations, just picture me behind you, arms waving madly, vehemently backing you up in spirit, and hoping you'll navigate away from her place of residence, Crazy Town. Women like this make all us women look bad, real bad. Please stay strong. Just tell her you don't think you're the right person for her because she's doing a lot to change who you are and what you like. If she's going to be with you, she has to accept everything that comes with you, and tell her you never donated the clothes. That's something that's a part of you. Yikes. You did the right thing by breaking up with her. Don't be around people who make you feel unlovable. Wear what you want and do what you want for a living. That said, an adult should have some nice clothing for dinners, events, interviews, etc. But that doesn't mean you have to wear them unless you're at an event. I'm a 52-year-old professional woman and I would be super sad if I had to get rid of my old, well-loved, band t-shirts and my old ratty Converse. I dress appropriately for work, of course. If you're not happy with her, don't continue the relationship. She's been trying to change your clothes and your job. She sounds like she's very materialistic. Staying with the fashion times, including what you wear. She even called your boss and asked him why you're not a manager. She definitely crossed a line on that one. It's time to put her in her place. I don't think you're good enough for her and that's why she's trying to change you. Put your foot down. If she doesn't like it, she can leave. Someone who loves you doesn't do things like this and does not make you feel less than. Your decision to end it is the right decision. I'm sorry you are going through this, it's abusive and manipulation. Her behavior sucks and you're not wrong. Dump her. You deserve better. A lot of great advice was given here, but I would just like to stress the fact that she bullied you into getting rid of t-shirts you like and are associated with good memories. She's not a good person, and she doesn't care about you. Her attitude screams, I'm ashamed of you because I'm not mature enough to be proud of whom I date, and I will harass you until you become who I want. She's the one who needs progress. Like a lot. Like invention of the wheel kind of progress. Jesus, this person sounds insufferable. You, on the other hand, sound very sweet. Wish you the best, and get someone who likes you and your t-shirts. She was fully aware of the band clothes and accepted you when you first got together. I think you're now seeing the real her, which I could guess is controlling and manipulative. You're now unhappy and not being your authentic self. No one calls their BF's place of work and demands why you're not a manager. It's weird and inappropriate. You already know what you should. There are just so many flags. Location flag, location flag, location flag with your GF. Good luck. Jesus. Sounds like this girl wanted a project. It's truly disgusting how many lines she crossed. Especially calling your boss. Wow. This is going to be an unpopular opinion, but in a situation where the person could try to hurt or manipulate you back into the relationship, I do think it's okay to break up over a phone call or text. Is it a shitty way to break up with someone? Yes, but it's better to just cut the ties and be done with the relationship than get looped back into it because she's crying or says she'll change. She's disrespecting you on so many fronts. Calling you useless, for example. She deserves a bit of that disrespect back. I had to scroll up to see if she was 18. 32F. Dump her OMG. She's a big asshole, damn. There's not much advice I can give though. Just tell her you don't feel safe and understood or happy around her anymore and you want to leave. In my experience, dwelling on long about your feelings and the situation doesn't help. Giving a quick explication is best. If she asks, then fine, go on, but not otherwise. And don't take her excuses or I'll change bullshit. Good luck, pal. Keep your band shirts. It will be a nice comfort after you break up and the new clothes remind you of her. She seems really pushy. It's not like you all of a sudden became that person. You were that way when she started dating you. I would just straight up tell her you don't appreciate her controlling behavior and that's a non-negotiable for you. Oh, and if you ever do decide you've outgrown the old band tees, I made a lovely quilt out of mine. Definitely recommend. It gets lots of positive feedback and I love telling the stories of where they're from and the different shows I went to. When you have done it, she may try to change your mind. Just reread your post, don't go back, otherwise you will have to go through this all over again. Do not delete this post. You're a person, not a project. If you feel the want to move out of your comfort zone, then you can do it, and ask for help. A person forcing you to be someone you are not is not a healthy relationship. You have to be prepared for her to be very upset and to lash out. There is probably nothing you can do to stop this. Anyone who would call her SO's boss like this is crazy and thinks nothing of crossing lines. Here's my advice. Have a straight-up conversation and let her know that you are ending the relationship. If you can have the conversation in a place where you can leave, i.e. not your home, that is best. Tell her this is non-negotiable. The fewer details you can provide, the better. Say that you don't see this working out in the long term. Just keep repeating that. Then contact your close friends and family fast and tell them the truth before she gets to them and starts spreading lies. Good luck. Yes, you do need to break up with her. Her lack of acceptance about you is no good at all. She's doing a typical thing that females are known for. Trying to force you to change to be how she sees you should be. I find it shocking she rang your work. That's really overstepping boundaries and totally not acceptable. At all. You don't need to give her any great reason. Just tell her you no longer want to be with her and tell her it's over. Have just read that you are concerned what she might do. My goodness. That just tells you 100% more that you need her out of your life. You sound decent and have tried to compromise. End it, mate. You'll be a lot better off. She is trying to change you, leave her. It's better to be with someone who accepts you who you are or want to be. She sounds like a winner. Training you to be her special little man slave. Obey or face endless years of pouting, whining, tantrums, and efforts to get you fired. It's funny to hear someone, who is trying to control your actions, likes, and values, tell you that new clothes or a job title are going to grow as a person, rot FLMAO. She honestly sounds controlling, manipulative, lazy, dumb, and just overall disgusting, gross. It's about living your own life and deciding for yourself to move forward on your own. I keep this quote in mind. A path is only a path, and there is no affront, to oneself or to others, in dropping it if that is what your heart tells you. Look at every path closely and deliberately. Try it as many times as you think necessary. Carlos Castaneda. You don't have to go into specifics if she asks why. Simply repeat yourself that you're moving on by yourself when pressed. You're doing the right thing. I'd do the breakup in public. She'll have less of an opportunity to wear you down and change your mind. Wear one of your band shirts. Sounds to me like she's finally shown her true colors. This is her. She's kept it hidden long enough for you to like her. But now she's here. Get rid of your not happy with her true self. When you got to the part where she called your boss to ask why you weren't a manager, I knew this was over the top. She's trying to change you, and she doesn't have boundaries. Tell her to find someone else who better fits her mold because you are done being controlled by her. Honestly, I think life is about learning to understand who you are, not trying to be someone else. It sounds like girlfriend is the one who needs to grow as a person. Maybe you guys can figure out what your expectations really are and how to best meet in the middle. Good luck. Not sure if she likes you, 'cause only you'll know, but she sure likes the idea of you better. If you are no longer happy and feel being manipulated, leave. We live separately. Phew. Be glad for this because it will make splitting up a lot easier. Tell her you're no longer happy with the relationship and you don't see it progressing. Keep it short and certain.